Hello and welcome to another episode of TSF Tier Lists. This is Geek Dhaba. I'm here joined today by Suhaib and Junaid. And today we're going to be taking on a tier list of stand-up comedians, We're in a particularly funny mood right now. And, we have a selection over here that all three of us are familiar with, mostly, save one or two in these. But before we go on, I would like to ask your honorable mentions. Pick three people that are not on this list that you feel should have been on this list, but sadly could not have been because the rest of us haven't watched. Suhaib?
I think I'll pick Jim Jeffries.
All right.
If anybody doesn't know, he's the gun control act guy because he's famous for that. Okay. Number two, I'll pick Nikki Glazer.
Mm-hmm.
She's a good comedian, double meaning jokes mostly, but it's fun. And for number three, I think I'll pick Bill Burr because he's
good choice. Good choice. I know him as an actor. I'm not too familiar with his stand-up work. All right, Junaid, what about you?
I will go with one of the top comedy stand-up guys, which is Jim Carrey. I will say Jim Carrey, and then I will go with Adam Sandler. And then I will go with Andrew Schultz. I don't know if you guys know him or not. I have shared some videos with you guys, so
we'll watch it someday. All right, let's go with my honorable mentions. First of all, I have Maz Jobrani, Irani guy. He talks about Persia a lot. Yeah, he's funny. Kind of looks like you, JD, with his bald head.
Much thinner.
Also much funnier.
Yeah.
But also, second of all, we have Bo Burnham. I feel that he's particularly funny. He came out with that Jeffrey Bezos song that is on everyone's minds. Hilarious song. And a third, I will have Angela Johnson. This is, I don't know if you know her. She's like pretty old, like 2003, 4-ish,
We're not that old.
Well, I am. So, let's go on. Anyways, moving on. We have a list of comedians, stand-up comedians. We are gonna rank them with S being top tier and D being, bottom of the barrel. Take it away, Suhaib.
Okay, so first we're going to be starting with Aziz Ansari. I think Mubarak, take it away. Aziz Ansari. What grade you give?
Aziz Ansari, I actually like him quite a bit, but I feel like his work is slightly repetitive at times, and sometimes his voice is annoying. He's a good comic, good jokes, but I have him as B. I want to give him a B+, but since we don't have that, let's put him in B. But okay, but then you guys have to tell me your scores as well. We've kind of forgot how this tier system works. We've been out of it for quite a bit.
Okay. I don't really like his work. As you said, it's repetitive. So I will just. Plus, I haven't seen much of him, but as much as I've seen, it's repetitive and it's not really all of the jokes are funny. So I won't. On the benefit of the doubt, I'll give him a lower B since we don't have a lower B. So I think it's a B.
Okay. Save you're the deciding vote, although we know where this is gonna lie.
Yeah, but the thing is, for me, again, the same stuff, pretty much. I would describe him with one line from the roast of James Franco, where I think it was Adam who said that, "What's a unique perspective of living in America?" Aziz Ansari, and that's pretty much his entire jokes, summed up in one line.
Yeah.
I think I'll give him a high C. But since there are two B's and one C,
he goes in
puts B.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Okay. So next we have the British comedian Jimmy Carr. I think I'll go first on this one.
Okay.
He's controversial. He is controversial.
Yeah.
And his controversial jokes are fun. I mean, sure, his comedy is more ooh than ha ha ha.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's fun to listen, but not more than once probably. You cannot, listen to his jokes again and again. And I think I'll put him in B.
Okay. Okay.
Ready?
Yeah, he's very competitive. He's very competitive, not competitive. No way. So yes, I feel bored after a while whenever I'm watching him. Like first 2-3 minutes it's okay, then he gets boring. So I'm going to put him in a C. So I'll let Mubarak decide where it goes.
I like him better as a host. I watch 8 out of 10 Cats. I've watched a lot of those, all those shows where he's a host. There's this comedian diss battle as well that he hosts pretty well as well. I like him as a host, and as a comedian, he's all right. He has some dark jokes. That seems to be his thing. He never laughs at it though. Have you noticed these controversial jokes? He waits for all of us to laugh at it, and then he just makes this serious face like, yeah, I know exactly what you like now. Yeah. Also, his laugh is weird. He laughs
outside laugh.
Yeah, outside laugh instead of in. I'm not going to judge him on that, but for me, he is a B. Let's. What's that?
Before we go,
He will be there with Aziz. He will join Aziz Ansari in the weekend.
Fair enough. Yeah, you were saying?
I would just comment on one thing. I'm not sure if who's copying who, but he seems a lot like Mike Myers, if I'm not wrong.
They're both in that. I mean, he's younger, right?
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
I was talking about jokes wise, not age.
Yeah, well, some people start their careers early, Just saying.
Speaking of starting your careers earlier, he started at the age of 14, our next comedian, and his name is Dave Chappelle. I think I won't even start here. JD, you go ahead with the first one.
Yeah, it's the same reaction.
You know what? I'm going to say this right now. Dave Chappelle deserves his own spotlight video. Let's look into that. Okay?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm going to tell you right up, greatest of all time. For me, at least. I don't know about you two. Okay? He goes into S+. But since we don't have that, for me, it's an S.
It's an S.
It's an S. So definitely an S. And we'll look into that Chappelle comedy video.
Yeah, look at that. So it's 3 S's. I mean, 3 S's over here. Another British person next.
Yes. The next one, we're continuing with, we're jumping continents.
Yeah.
And now we're down to Ricky Gervais. I think that's how his name is pronounced.
Yeah, it is Gervais.
Okay, so Ricky Gervais. I think I'll go first on this one. He tries to do controversial comedy.
Tries.
He tries to do controversial comedy. He's not as controversial as Jimmy Carr, but he is good. Jokes are on point. And obviously, we know he's a great writer. He's written The Office.
So the British version.
The British version. And he's been part of the US version as well.
Yeah, 1 or 2 cameos. We all know the Office.
I mean, in the writing division.
We all know that the American Office is superior. Let's just leave it at that.
But still, I would say I would give him a B, but a very, very high B.
All right. Well, I kind of like him, actually. Yeah, especially when he tries to roast the celebrities, and his Oscar performances are off the top. So, yeah, he's not a B for me, but I mean, there are not many people who can just roast and then be funny at the same time. So I will for me, it's an S for him.
Interesting. I have him as a very high B as well, you know, like not quite A, but I feel like B is, you know, high B. What does that put him in?
Puts him in A.
A.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel that. Okay,
Fair enough.
I can work with that. I can work with that. All right, next on the list.
So next on the list is someone who's like in everything. He's pretty much in everything right now. So, and that's Kevin Hart. He's small, but
he has
great.
heart.
He has heart.
Yeah.
And he has The Rock with him. So yeah. You know, I mean, if Mubarak, you want to take first?
I like his comedy. His later stuff, however, is become, I don't know, unrelatable. I don't know if that's the word right now I should be using, but his earlier stuff I have really enjoyed, like tremendously. I have him as an A, like mid A, not even high A, not low A. I have him as A. Junaid?
Again, yeah, as you mentioned, his starting stuff was off the hook. I mean, he was so good with all the stories about his family and he's involving his family. And we all know he's Dwayne's younger son. So, but in 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 the later going, he gets like repetitive and he gets boring. And now he's not that high and at the peak like he was before. So I will probably give him B. Maybe if he continued his rhythm, he was an A for sure. So it's a B.
Yeah, I'll give him an A because sure he's turned into more of an actor now, but and that's why his stand-up is suffering, if you call it suffering. But I would say that his starting stuff was great, and just for the Gloria jeans, sorry, not the Gloria jeans, that's a Pakistani brand. The Starbucks joke that he did in his special What Now, when he makes fun of people who drink Starbucks. So I was with him all the way. Because and just for that, I would give him an A. So I think 2 A's and 1 B puts him in A. Should we put him above Ricky or below?
I think above Ricky.
Okay, I'll just put him in.
Yeah, just fine. Okay.
Okay, the next we are going again, changing not continent, but changing countries. And now we are Gabriel Iglesias.
What do you mean changing countries? He's in America as well, you know that.
Yeah. He lives now. He's not from America.
Okay.
Mexico.
All right.
So
Gabriel Iglesias.
Yeah.
If we are going to go full
the correct pronunciation.
Gabriel Iglesias.
Gabriel Iglesias. We'll just call him Fluffy.
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 Yes.
So for Fluffy, I'll go first. I say he's absolutely hilarious when his jokes are on point, but that's like 70%. 30% is sort of off. But when he's on point, his jokes makes you want to hold your stomach and laugh out loud. And for that, for me, he's a very high B or a very low A.
Okay, so I watch him regularly, so he's fluffy, and second of all, he has too many on-the-point jokes. One thing which I would like you to hear especially is the Marvel versus DC joke.
Heard it. Yes.
So, I mean, he has unique, I mean, he picks his life instead of making jokes. So, he gets controversial, but not in a very defensive way. He gets it in a comedic way, and I have him as an S.
I feel that he is a high A for me, very high A. I mean, I've enjoyed his stand-up over the years. I've particularly enjoyed that show he did, Stand-Up Revolution, where he introduces other comics. That was a very nice way for me to get into other comedians. I have to give him props there. For me, it's a high A.
And I think that puts him in the top A category.
Yeah, I feel like he fits
Everybody
there. Yeah, that's a good fit.
Okay, so next is Eddie
Eddie Murphy.
Murphy, one of the greatest actors,
Hmm,
acting comedians of all time,
yeah,
easily.
yeah,
But we are talking about stand-up, especially here.
yes.
So Mubarak, you go first.
There's this from the one stand-up I do know where he's wearing that tight red leather outfit and he's walking around. That is particularly memorable for me. I have enjoyed Murphy's stand-up. I have him as mid A, like not A plus, not A minus. Mid A is exactly where I would categorize him. You know, I mean, he left comedy pretty early, and this was before my time, unfortunately. So, yeah. Moving
Yeah.
on, Junaid, you.
That's exactly it. I mean, he's before my time as well.
Hmm.
Since I know him as an actor, and then I watched a few of his older shows. But again, his acting overcomes his stand-up, if that's put in a correct way. So I will say he's pretty much in a high B for me, not in a middle or low B, but in a high B.
Okay.
Maybe if he was if he was consistent, maybe he would be more successful as a comedian. Who knows? So hey,
Okay, I think Eddie Murphy would have been an S for me if only he had continued the stand-up path. He left after 2 specials. Both of his specials are amazing, just saying. Okay, nobody hates me for that. But you know, Delirious is simply one of the best stand-up specials from the starting minute to the ending joke. It's like one of the most completest specials of all time. I personally believe that. But he left too early because obviously he was successful in Hollywood as a comedian actor rather than a stand-up. But
Hmm.
his charisma on stage, his jokes were on point. He was great, and I believe that he should have been an S, but I would give him an A, just because he left too early. And you know, if you listen to Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy are very similar.
Hmm.
Eddie Murphy gives homage to Richard Pryor wearing the same dress that he wore as well in Delirious, the red one. Richard Pryor has worn the same dress as well.
Yeah.
So that was just a homage to Richard Pryor. But they're very similar. And I
Mhm.
would give him an S if he hadn't left so early. I would give him an A. And since 2 A's and 1 B, J stands, I think, just written here.
I would put him a little to the left, but it's fine over there.
I like how he's categorizing them in a race manner. So Hispanic, American, and then the blacks.
Unintentional. Okay.
Unintentional. I'm just
Unintentional.
moving
Racist.
one here. So it's just 1-1-1-1.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Next is Trevor Noah.
So we're traveling directly to South Africa now.
Yeah. So JD, take it away.
Okay, I've not seen his stand-ups, but I've seen his. Okay, I've seen a bit of his stand-ups, but he's more of a TV host, and his main audience is basically to bash politics. If
Now.
I mean that sums it up,
Yeah.
and the way he does it, I mean, he's still running the show. If he's still running the show consecutively, it means it's good. So I will give him an A. Any one of you guys, I don't know.
Suhaib?
He's a good comic. His political satire is great. His stand-ups are fun, but from the day that I found out that he has stolen jokes from other comedians, that was something that I just couldn't well with. And he's a good comic. I won't take it anything away from him. Obviously, he's, as JD said, he's been doing that show. He's good. That's why. And his political satire has always been on point, making fun of Trump and everything else. But for the stand-up specials, he has stolen jokes from Russell Peters and one more. And for that, I would put him in B.
Oh, that is harsh. Especially after what I'm going to say. I have particularly enjoyed his comedy, especially the African element. I have spent time in Africa, and for me, it resonates, well in his comedy. I have him as a mid-A. I would have put him in S, but then the joke stealing thing, that didn't vibe well with me. Not enough to put him in a D, but to bring him down one rank.
And with that calculation, he lands up in B. Should I rate him above Aziz Ansari?
No, let's just put him at the bottom of the B's.
Bottom.
Yeah.
Okay, so next is Russell Peters.
And we apologize for that slight technical difficulty there. It seems that our videos, we have no idea if we have face cams or not. Anyways, let's move on. Where were we? Yes, we had just finished. And now we are on
Russell Peters. We're going to start with Russell Peters now. And I think I'll go first for Peters. And I would say that he is a great stand-up comedian. He's a master of the art, and I think greatly so because he has remained in that art and he has not, diversified himself. He has been in, few roles. He has been in Source Code and, some Indian movies and all that. But overall, his specialty has been stand-up comedy, and he's a master of it.
Yeah.
Simply put. Any one of his specials, sure, the last special that he put out, not as good as the best ones, but his previous work has all been hilarious. I think my favorite of all has to be the Green Card Tour.
Yeah.
That was like, oof. I mean, I was watching it on a bus journey, and I was like laughing widely, and everybody around me was saying like, "Why is he doing that?" And I didn't care because I was enjoying the show so much. So for me, a high A. Peters.
Let me take it from here. Yes, I have him as a very high A. I feel that he is well deserving of that A. Not quite S, sadly. Like if there's an S minus, maybe I'd put him there. But since there's not, let's put him in A plus. Junaid?
He's not an S, but he's definitely an A because one, he knows how to, he takes his background. He's not like, oh, I'm in America or I'm in Canada or I'm in England, so I will just be like that and only joke about that. He brings his ethnicity with him. He takes examples. If he sees an Indian with a Filipino or an Indian with a Japanese or whoever it is, he will diss them, and he will point it out first, make the camera go to them, and then he will diss them. So he's not an S. Exactly, if it's S minus something, yeah, but I will give him an A for sure.
I think he the good ones, I think he should rate above Gabriel Iglesias.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd put him there. I'd be very happy with that standing.
Okay, so next is Chris Rock. And because his joke made it famous, you had one job. And we had one job to show our faces in the first half of the video, but we couldn't, apparently so. So,
To
Chris
be
Rock,
honest, we don't
JD,
even know
take it
if
away.
our faces are visible.
Now,
Yeah.
JD, take it away.
okay, so it's like, he tries too much, if that's the word. He doesn't, like, he tries too much. He doesn't go with the flow. He stops, he thinks, and then he takes. So that's the reason I will give him a B. So I'll let Mubarak take it away.
I have him as an A minus. I've enjoyed his work. I've enjoyed some of his sketches. It is, it's good stuff. But as a comedian, I have him as I don't want to put him in a B. I have him in A, lowest A if possible. Sahib?
I think I'll agree with Mubarak. A low A, but still an A for me. He was one of the ones who brought a stand-up comedy into the limelight. And I agree that some of his work is trying too much. I agree with JD there, but he's a comedian who's done good, and his jokes are hilarious. I mean, and especially his style is funny. If you think about it, Kevin Hart, like as Eddie Murphy tries to copy from Richard Pryor, but Kevin Hart sometimes tries either Martin Lawrence or Chris Rock. And I think Chris Rock was one of the founders of good comedy, stand-up comedy, and I would put him in a low A. So 2 A's and a B puts him, I think, here, and I think I would put him below
Yeah.
Hart.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
go above
Definitely.
Kevin.
Yeah.
What were you saying, JD?
I think he should go above Kevin.
Oh, I feel like he's right there, below Kevin. But okay, let's put him above Kevin.
Okay,
Since Kevin does take some inspiration from him, let's go with that.
sure. Okay. So next is, surprisingly, the first female comedian on our list, Sarah Silverman. And Sarah Silverman, I'll go first for this. Sarah Silverman is a good comic. She's funny. Obviously, too many read jokes in her acts generally. But it is what it is. She's funny. She's good. She keeps her act throughout the stand-up special well. Obviously, there are down parts in her specials, but overall, you enjoy. You have a good time, and that's pretty much the point of watching a special.
Hmm.
I would give her a B.
Okay. I haven't watched the specials, as in I never really watched her as, like, I've searched her and watched her. So I've just watched her. Okay, it's on and I'll watch it. But even then, I feel like it gets boring a bit. I mean, I don't really enjoy it a lot. Not saying because she's a woman or anything, but I will give her a C, top C, I think.
I sadly have not. I've seen one clip of hers. I've not actually, invested my time into watching her specials or anything. So sadly, I will have to skip this one.
So I think a 1B and 1C puts her in a very low B, below Trevor Noah. Everybody's fine with that?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, next on the list is the one of the greatest,
One of the
Robin Williams.
yes. Rest in peace, bro.
Rest in peace. Robin Williams, Mubarak, since you were not participating well in the previous one, take it away.
I he is, as a comedian, fantastic. As an actor, comedian, fantastic. It's like this guy is just, and he brought us so many smiles and everything. It's with such a heavy heart, we talk about him today. You know, his he was really, really great. And but I've for me his acting outshines his stand-up. And he's good stand-up stuff, but for me it's a very high B, not quite touching the A, not yet. Junaid?
Yeah, he's more of an actor than a comedian, but he's both. I mean, he's never really been in a movie and not have the comedic effect raised with him. Besides his last movies, I feel like that was pretty much serious. But on the scale of if I move to just comedy and stand up, he's a pretty decent comedian, and he knows what line touches what people. I mean, it's sad, but I would put him in an A for sure, not in a B because I don't think he deserves a B. So hey,
Okay, if you're talking about him being the comedic actor, he's in the S for me.
Definitely.
But if you're talking about just the stand-up specials, his stand-up specials are great. They're funny, uh, but again, they're one-time watches for me. I'm just talking about myself. They're one-time watches for me, and they're so much fun. You're enjoying it a lot when you're watching it the first time, but that's pretty much it is. And I would rate him a very high B for his stand-up specials. But again, if we are just talking about comedic acting, he's S, straight up S.
S, straight up, yeah.
No,
Even a serious acting, there are serious roles that he has performed
yes,
fantastically.
yes. As an actor overall, S,
Yes.
straight up. So he's a B, but I think I would put him above the ranks of everyone in B.
Okay. Fair enough.
I think we'll get a lot of hate for putting him in there.
I know. But hey,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah. Okay, the next is Ali Wong, another female stand-up comedian. Ali Wong, Steady, you want to take?
I've enjoyed her. Um, I can't really say too much, and I can't really say too little, but it's good. I mean, I don't get bored from it, and if it's on, it's on. I don't change the channels. So, I mean, it's a B from me. Not the lower B, approximately a middle-ish B. So I'll let Mubarak take it from here.
I'm not also, again, not too familiar with her work. I have seen some clips here and there. She seems decent enough, and I guess, if I am going to rate her, which, I feel like I shouldn't, I would put her in the B as well. Around, like, has potential, but I need to watch more for me to be able to judge. So hey.
Ouch. Ali Wong, I've seen all her specials.
Oh.
I thoroughly enjoyed them. Simply one of my, if she has a special coming, I'll, he's one of those that I would, be looking out for as specials. And I would say an A for me, but obviously, 2 Bs and 1 A would put her in the B category, and we'll put her above Aziz.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that feels fair. That feels fair.
Okay, so now we're closing in on the finals, and we have our very own local boy, Pakistani local boy, Kamel Nanjiani. Kamel, we're not going to go light on you just because you're Pakistani, okay? I'll probably go first with him. Kamel Nanjiani is a good actor. I've seen his, obviously, his main start has always been stand-ups, and he's still doing stand-up. But his movies like, the Uber driver one, which was that with Batista, I think. There was an Uber driver with Batista. Then there's The Big Sick. I've seen both of them, and I've thoroughly, I've enjoyed those movies. He's going to be in Eternals as well.
I'm
So
excited for
we're
that.
looking forward. Yes, we are looking forward to that. But as far as stand-up goes, I would rate him pretty much as I rated Aziz Ansari, because I think they're pretty similar. I would rate him higher than Aziz, but it would still be a low B or a high C for me. None.
Junaid?
Jody?
So it's a lower B, high C, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Uh, it's the same rating for me. I'm just going to say it at the start. And second, yeah, his acting is good, but I don't see the stand up being. I mean, I think he just did it for the heck of it, and he got tired. I don't know. Or maybe he was unemployed and he did it like all Pakistanis do, and then he found a gig. So I'm just going to say this. And well, good luck for his future Eternals. I don't know if he goes back to stand up or not. So I will just stop here before someone from our group starts bashing me. And I will let Mubarak take it from here.
We are
Okay.
Pakistani. We can say this stuff
We
about our brother.
can. He's one of us. He's from Karachi. It's all right.
No, of course. No, of course.
Anyway, so for me, I feel that his stand-up, although he is Pakistani, his target audience has always been the international community. It's never been about Pakistan and stand up for us. It's always like for them. So that was one disconnect I felt with Kamel. He has some funny jokes. He has a fantastic life journey, and we can see that in The Big Sick and all that. But it's like, for me, it's like that there's a disconnect. I like his jokes, but I've never been able to connect personally with them. For me, I have him as a very, very high C, just because, well, lowest B, but high C, just because of that disconnect. Had it been more Pakistan oriented, maybe I would have enjoyed it. Like, even in English, he would have done it perfectly. So where are we putting him?
Let's fill the corner.
He's a C.
All right.
Alone,
But
that's like Pakistan and the foreign politics scenario.
But here's the thing. Our next two, this is Pakistan for Pakistan.
Yes.
You dig me?
Yes. Yes.
Unfortunately, here's the thing. I spent too much time out of the country. I was not around for both of their stand-ups. So I'm going to leave these two to you guys. Enjoy.
Okay, the first of all, I think this video is coming because of the recent passing of Umar Sharif. He was a gem in comedy for me personally, and whenever I've seen his stand-ups, it's been hilarious. And he has been like that for Pakistan, representing Pakistan all over the world. Either it's been in India, it's been, we have problems with India, but even Indians love Umar Sharif. They used to invite him as chief guests for, their stand-up judging competitions. They used to invite him as, a stand-up specialist in their award shows. He's been all over the world. He's represented Pakistan, and for me, he's done a brilliant job. His genius in comic timing was amazing. His deliveries were always amazing. And for me, may he rest in peace. He is an S for me, straight up. JD.
Uh, okay, I will. Yeah, may he rest in peace. But yes, you're right. These both are the greatest comedians to ever live for our country, and I see that this guy was everywhere. I mean, even if it's a show about sports or a show about drama or a show about anything else, he was there and he brought the comedic factor in the show. I've not seen his stand-ups, but I've seen him in shows. I don't know if he ever did stand-ups. I'm not really sure about Pakistanis. I'm not really sure if stand-ups work in Pakistan. So I will put him in an A uh, because I don't know. I would put him in an A for sure.
So what should we do? Above Russell, below Chappelle? What do you guys say?
Below Chappelle, let's say below Chappelle, because, well, first of all, he passed away just recently, so it feels a little bit disrespectful
honestly-
to put him in A. I mean, like with other
And,
people,
not just saying because he just passed away and we're just putting him in. He just deserves it, obviously. But you know,
yeah,
sure.
from what I've
we-
heard, he has been a fantastic comedian over the years. I unfortunately, I have personally never experienced any of his comedy. Let's, you know what? For my dad, he'd put him in an S. Let's use my dad's ranking of him. Okay.
JD, we'll just do one more for Pakistan because he also passed away about, I think, 8 to 9
Yeah.
years ago. But his place in Pakistani comedy scene will never be filled. Never. For me, never. JD, you take it first.
Okay, so I've grown up watching him in a way, and I still watch him. My dad sends his videos to me all the time. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, he's a proper gem, and his show Loose Talk was one of the best in Pakistan. And watched around the world. So for me, he is an S for sure. Mubarak.
So hey,
Okay, yes, pretty much same. Just
Yeah, it's
watched
an
him
S
grow,
for sure.
watched him, growing up. His shows, there was the Dhai Bata something. I don't remember the name correctly. Then there was Loose Talk, and he had stage dramas. One thing that if anybody, if you have followed us till now in this video, just go to YouTube, search Muin Akhtar and Umar Sharif, and watch the first video. It's like 10 to 12 minutes. And I think it will make your day. Simply, both of them in one video, it's laughing right. Simply. But coming back to Muin Akhtar, I think the gap he has left, the void he has left in Pakistan's comedy scene will never be filled. He is one of the greatest of all times in Pakistan. As a comic genius, his impressions were absolutely out of this world. If you've seen Loose Talk, he used to be different person every week. And when he was in his character, you would never see Muin Akhtar in that. It was that character's soul. And I believe that he's simply is great S, and I think, put him above Umar Sharif. Below Chappelle. That's fine.
all right. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is our tier list. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you have any more honorable mentions. If we were not short on time and space, we would obviously add more people into this. There are some very well-deserving comedians out there. Anyways, I guess this is it. We'll be signing off. Thank you all for watching. I think we're gonna make a part 2. We'll talk about Dave Chappelle's Spotlight
still
in that. Yeah. I guess this is it. This is us signing off. Thank you all for watching. Have a good night. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll see you next time.
All right.